Yes, sir. Two teams from the East Suburban Catholic Conference meet today in Joliet for the opportunity to play LaSalle Peru tomorrow for the Class 3A state championship. It's Nazareth Academy and Marian Catholic in semifinal game number 2, Class 3A. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Bernhardt, joined by state championship coach and Hall of Famer Mark Lindo. And Mark, how unique it is. You get down to the final 4 teams in the state, 2 of them members of the same conference. They have split 2 games each. That was 6 weeks ago. It's all about the money now.
Both teams very familiar with each other. Quite honestly, neither team may be expected to be here. Marian had a very, very average record, 18-17 coming in. Nazareth was here last year, a 4th place finish, but they lost every position player. So a couple surprises. Someone's playing the title game tomorrow.
Here's the starting lineup for Nazareth Academy. They'll be the visiting team today. Third baseman Kyle Piotrowski to lead things off. He'll be followed by Sean Maloney, the right fielder. Mike Stromberg, the catcher, bats third. Tim Del Porto, the shortstop, hits in the 4th spot. Today's pitcher, Jake Bartels, bats 5th. Batting 6th, it will be the designated hitter, Ryan Marski. He's batting for the left fielder, Mike Nosen. Dominic Papura, the first baseman, hits 7th. Anthony Tapia at second base, bats 8th. And hitting 9th, it will be Mark Perone, the center fielder. And their task, going up against one of the top left-handers in the state. They've not seen him in the last 2 years, but Brett Lillick, he is a good one.
He's 6'4", 190, left-hander. All of those things make him a solid pitcher just in its own right. But throw around 52 in the 3rd innings pitched, a sparkling 2.43 earned run average, 78 strikeouts. He's allowed just 37 hits, a 6-4 record. He can dominate at times. And for the play-by-play of semifinal number 2, the winner goes to the state title. Here's the Hall of Fame voice of the IHSA, Dave Bernhardt.
Thank you very much, Mark. As Lillick gets set to deliver his first pitch, it's a fastball to Kyle Piotrowski, and we are underway. Our first semifinal won by LaSalle Peru, 5-2, taking advantage of a 5-run first inning. So the Cavaliers be playing in their first state championship game in school history. And one of these 2 teams will be doing the same, and that pitch is rifled up the middle off of Lillick. A base hit by Piotrowski to get things started.
Well, he tipped 89 on the gun. He's touched 90, 91 a couple different times. All 3 pitches for strikes. He's had command during this state tournament run, but Piotrowski turned that ball right around and just sliced it into center field. Good things happen when the leadoff man's aboard.
Lillick, a 37th round draft pick by the Seattle Mariners. He has already signed with Arizona State University. This was a Marian Catholic team, as Mark mentioned, came into this tournament 18-17. Well, how about the way they finished the regular season? In their last 23 games, Marian just 8 wins and 15 losses, and yet here they are, one of the final 4. Sean Maloney pops up the bunt, and very quickly the count goes to 0-2.
Maloney trying to move things over. Got to bunt the top half of the baseball. He got underneath that one and has himself in trouble right now. It's hard to play catch-up being 0-2 against the likes of Lillick, who can get it up there, as we mentioned, 88, 89, 90 miles per hour.
The lead at first to Piotrowski. There's a curveball and absolutely froze Maloney.
Well, you go 88, 89, then you go back to 76. You got to dial up for 1, and then you go to the second pitch. The third pitch that he throws is a change, and just completely off balance was Maloney, who it has to be upset at himself for not being able to move the runner over on the previous bunt attempt.
We'll bring up Mike Stromberg. Stromberg, the catcher, considered by his head coach Lee Milano the finest defensive catcher he has coached in 17 years. 5'8", 175-pound junior brings a .340 batting average to the plate. Lefty versus lefty. The 88-mile-per-hour fastball misses. He looked to bunt a little bit more for a base hit than a sacrifice there.
That was definitely a drag opportunity. See, he crossed over his back foot in front of his front, his left foot over right, and he was trying to get the barrel toward third base angle, cross over and get a head start to first base, but was not able to execute.
Brad Boland, the third baseman, playing deep. We'll get you that entire defensive lineup in just a minute, as Stromberg just able to get a piece of that. Pat Swanson's in left field. for the Spartans from Marian Catholic. Rob Cifelli in center, Devin Pickett, the right fielder. We mentioned Brad Bolin at third, Eric Callahan's the shortstop, Luis Carlo Avila, the second baseman, Pat Schmidt at first. The catcher is Mitch Weisenhofer, and of course the pitcher, Brett Lillick. And he's got his runner picked. Now the rundown is on. Piotrowski in trouble. It just barely gets tagged out by Lillick on the return throw.
Very solid pickoff move. That one, A, is hard to teach, but B, once you have a move like that and you continue to get reps practicing it, he just flat out had Piotrowski fooled. I don't know if Piotrowski was going off first movement or not, but a solid play by Schmidt delivering the ball to Callahan, then the tag to Lillick covering first.
1-2. Long throw across for Callahan. Enough. He's got him. So in the end, a quick inning for Lillick and Marian Catholic. A leadoff single wiped out by being picked off. Strikeout, ground out. We go to the bottom of the first. Marian Catholic's turn here in your 3-8 semifinal game. Marian Catholic 23 wins, 17 losses. This is how their order will look. Rob Cifelli, the center fielder, to lead things off. Left fielder Pat Swanson bats second. Devin Pickett in the 3-hole. He is the right fielder. Brad Bolin hits cleanup. He's down at third base. Pat Schmidt, the first baseman, bats fifth, hitting sixth. The pitcher, Brett Lillick, hitting for himself. Shortstop Eric Callahan bats seventh. Mitch Weisenhofer, the catcher, is in the eighth spot. And Luis Carlo Avila bats ninth, and he is at second base. So they'll get their first cracks here at Jake Bartels, a right-hander from Nazareth.
You talk about a prospect, just a sophomore, 16 years old, already 6'4", 210 pounds. This is his 16th appearance on the season for the sophomore. He comes in with a 7-2 record, 59 1/3 innings pitched. He was the winning pitcher against St. Joe's in the sectional. 52 hits allowed, 51 strikeouts compared to 21 base on balls, a 2.01 earned run average. Bartels throws both a 2- and 4-seam fastball. The 4-seam is more get me over. 2-seam dives in. He'll throw a curveball and a change. And at 6'4", with those long fingers, long arms, he has an upside.
Nazareth finished fourth last year in 3A. Lost to Oak Forest 3-1 in the semifinals, and then Waterloo 6-1 in that third place game. As Mark said, it was an all-senior lineup last year. Boy, and that's saying something when you can take an all-senior lineup, finish in the top four in the state, come back, regroup, reposition everybody, and all of a sudden you're right back here again. Nice mix of 2 sophomores, 4 juniors, 3 seniors as part of the starting lineup for Lee Milano's club.
And Bartels did indeed make an appearance as a freshman last year in the third, fourth place game, which they lost to Waterloo. So he's been out on that bump before in his lifetime. And again, 6'4", 210, played some varsity football quarterback this year as a sophomore. So a well-schooled athlete already.
And Rob Cifelli will look to get things going here in the bottom of the first inning. He is the igniter for this Marian Catholic offense. Cifelli, the 5'6" senior, 320 batting average, but when he gets on, he will run. How he goes is how they go. They'll take the first 2 pitches, 1 for a ball, 1 for a strike. Cifelli headed to John Carroll University. Admits he's not the fastest guy around, but his coach Phil Whale says he has a great feel for the game. Bartels goes 1-2 on him.
Well, that great feel for the game. Cifelli's father, John, played at Marian and then at the University of New Mexico, so good bloodlines there. His dad passed along some good genealogy to his son.
Marian Catholic had high expectations coming into this season. They were ranked in the beginning of the year. That was after they took third in the Illinois State Summer Tournament, but this has not been a program that's had recent success. They've only had 5 winning seasons since 1994. Head coach Phil Whale, his first winning season is this year. He's in the 4th year, the former Marian Catholic Spartan himself, with a career record of 63 wins and 85 losses.
Yeah, they lost 6 of their last 9 down the stretch before the tournament, and then the proverbial caught lightning in a bottle did indeed help them as they beat Westinghouse, Chicago Little Village. Glenbard South was an upset win for them in the first game of the sectional. Then St. Joe's 7-4, and then the win against Grays Lake to get here 7-2.
Wind kicking up a lot of dust in this field as Cifelli with a soft little liner snagged out of midair. Tim Del Porto. Del Porto timed this one perfectly. Started to slice away from him a little bit, was able to snag it.
Kept the hands in, got the barrel out, and went right with the pitch. But going vertical was Del Porto to make a nice catch. Timing was there, and the verticality was there. Leadoff man is down and out.
Bring up the number 2 hitter. That's Pat Swanson. Swanson, the left fielder, 5'11 junior, stayed .247 batting average this year. 83 degrees here today and a beautiful day for baseball. Supposed to get great weather again tomorrow, nice and warm. The wind has picked up a little bit, blowing across from left to right.
Good look at Pat, whose father also went to Marian. So the first 2 batters followed Dad's footsteps at Marian. His father, Tim, went to Marian. He coaches football at Marian and was involved in the baseball program, but decided to quit to watch his son play. Imagine that.
A little bit high for Bartels. It's 3-1. Devin Pickett waits on deck. Count goes full. First trip to the state finals for Marian Catholic. In fact, it was their first sectional championship in school history. Their regional win was their first in 25 years. So they indeed are the surprise team in Class 3A. In fact, when you look, Mark, at the entire 3A, 4A tournament, even as short a time ago as, 10 days ago, I don't think these would have been the 8 teams that you would have penciled in. A lot of folks were upset in sectional play.
Gotta love single elimination baseball. It makes every sectional, super sectional game that much more exciting.
Just misses. Swanson hesitated for just a bit before he heads down to first base. So with 1 out, a man aboard for Pickett.
You know, you talked about the leadoff hitter, Cifelli, 39 runs scored. Swanson in the 2-hole, 22 runs scored, 61 runs from your 1-2 hitter. So you set the table, and the big bopper's coming up right now.
Devin Pickett, 6'2 senior. He is headed to Iowa. Pickett this season, a .274 batting average. Bartels gets him on the first pitch. Snap throw back from Stromberg over to first. Well, the Prep Baseball Report, the premier publication for high school baseball in Illinois, had weekly rankings. Our rankings prior to the sectional were all laid out, their top 25 teams. After sectional play, only 1 team in the top 16 remained. That was LaSalle Peru, and we saw them win here in the first game here today in these 3A semifinals. Top 15 teams lost in the sectional.
The mighty fall.
A ball and a strike, in and out to Devin Pickett. Now, Marian will like to run. They like to move runners over. We said these 2 teams split on back-to-back days in the first week of May. Nazareth winning 4-1 before Marian Catholic came back to win 5-3. In East Suburban Catholic, the Marian Catholic Spartans finished 5-11. It's all about what happens once they start tournament play. Big win over Oak Forest in the sectional semifinal. That was the one that really convinced the Spartans that, hey, you know what, we can do something here. They defeated Tim Funkhauser, one of the top pitchers, in fact, the Gatorade Player of the Year in Illinois. Bartels pretty much hit the glove where Stromberg wanted it, just a bit outside.
You're talking about Prep Baseball Report. Sean Duncan has Devin Pickett, the number 39th ranked player in the state of Illinois, but Brett Lillick, the number 2 player in the state of Illinois. So this is quite the battle of 2 of the premier players. Not great numbers by Pickett this year, but there's no doubt about his baseball prowess.
Waits on this breaking ball from Bartels. Will this stay in play? Just coming up a bit short. The right fielder, Sean Maloney. And a souvenir for a young fan down there. Nice.
Maloney, see him getting his back to position. It looked like he was going to do a flip right over that fence as he sprinted, then felt the warning track and slowed down just in time.
Pickett stays alive. Swanson the lead at first with 1 out. Ring him up in the inside corner. Pickett didn't believe it. Flinched on a breaking ball, but it hung on the black.
Bartels took an awful lot off of the curveball. So he was changing speeds on one of his off-speed pitches. And that ball just froze Pickett right at the hands. Probably a good time for Swanson to run now if he can guess off-speed pitch.
Brad Boland will step into the batter's box, cleanup hitter for Marian. First pitch to the shortstop, Del Porto. And the 1-out walk is wasted. We played one here in your semifinal in Class 3A. The winner to play, LaSalle, Peru. No score, Nazareth and Marian. Each team with the base runner in the first inning couldn't get them past first base, so we'll go to the second. 4-5-6 for Nazareth. Tim Del Porto, Jake Bartels, and Ryan Marski. Philosophy for Nazareth offensively, score a run an inning. You know, and I would take my chance of scoring 6 or 7 runs in a game, especially with the pitching staffs these two teams have. Looking at Tim Del Porto, as you saw him with the assist on that last ground ball. Del Porto, just a sophomore, hitting in a cleanup spot. .359 average. Driven in 25 runs, second high in the team to Ryan Marski, who will hit in a couple of batters here.
Del Porto, 6'2", 185, 16 years old. And again, with the bloodlines he has, he will be a prospect. He already is, but the next 2 years, there'll be a lot of scouts, both professional and college, following him.
His brother Steve Del Porto, a 2009 graduate of Nazareth, second baseman for Baylor University, and Del Porto will grab the leadoff walk.
Yeah, Baylor is in the NCAA tournament right now, so I believe Nazareth has 5 or 6 players currently playing college baseball. So that just shows the productivity and the athleticism they've had the last couple of years, including last year's 4th place team.
Bartels up, looking to bunt, and Lilick misses again. Nazareth, 4 straight super sectional appearances. That's a strike on an 89-mile-per-hour pitch.
You know, A.J. Ryan from last year's team is playing at Dayton. They're also in the NCAA tournament. So a couple of road runners, not just playing college ball, but playing in the NCAA tournament at the Division I level.
Just a bit too busy to get back to Joliet, you say, huh, to follow their alma mater here.
And boy, you get a couple guys that maybe sign a pro contract or play D1, and that just gets everybody at the freshman, sophomore level, whatever, excited about the game.
Nice pitch by Lilick. Second strikeout of the game as Bartels goes down. I'll bring up Ryan Marski, the 6'5" senior designated hitter. Marski batting for the left fielder Mike Nosen. .364 average, 11 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs to go along with the 30 runs batted in. And again, even though these two teams are members of the East Suburban Catholic Conference, Brett Lilick, the pitcher for Marian Catholic, has not faced Nazareth these last 2 years. Looking to go a 360, 1 double play, not going to happen. They'll go 3-6 for the putout.
Solid play by Schmidt, first baseman, 24. who comes off the base, fields his position up to the left-handed pull, the chopper by Marski, and he throws a strike across the diamond to Callahan. Tough play at any levels, high school level especially. They get the lead out. When you have a first baseman control the ball, what a bonus it is that opposing offenses can't pick on a throwing arm of a first baseman.
Another left-handed hitter now stepping in, Dominic Papura. Papura on that little pickoff move to first base there showed bunt. We'll see whether with one strike that was indeed his intention here with 2 outs. Flinches and takes that breaking ball.
Papura hitting .375. He'll play collegiately in the CCIW for Carthage.
Well, we've seen Lilik with 1 pickoff already. Obviously, that move was just a I'm keeping an eye on you move.
Yeah, that one that was not a good one. He didn't care. He leaned back. He kind of tipped off the runner, and that wasn't my get you out. That was a little bit better, a little bit more purpose to it.
Ryan Marski at first. Dominic Papura, we'll see him do some pitching here this weekend. He's at the plate, first baseman today in this lineup. And Lilik with the slider gets Papura looking. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings for Brett Lilik. Will go to the bottom of the second, no score. Silvercross Field, the hosts for the Class 3A and 4A state baseball finals. It's the home of the Joliet Slammers, independent league out of the Frontier League. Glad you've joined us here today for this one. 2 more games to follow. We have 4A play coming up following this ball game. We'll see Grant out of Fox Lake taking on Oak Park River Forest, and then defending champs Lions takes on Manuka. Pat Schmidt to lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning for Marian Catholic, and I had mentioned how it was a crucial win in the sectional semifinals for Marian Catholic, coming from behind to defeat Oak Forest 7-5 and really convinced themselves they had an opportunity to get to Joliet. But how about the very first game they played in the tournament? Regional semifinal. Now remember, Marian came in with an 18-17 record, played Evergreen Park and trailed Evergreen Park 5-0 before rallying to win 8-7. That's how close things can go in a single elimination tournament.
Yeah, you look back at that, you're in the state semifinals, a break here or there, a play here or there in that game, and you're gone home in the play-in game. Strange game, the game of baseball.
Schmidt hits this ball to right field, pretty well hit. Maloney giving ground. He'll make the nice catch. Got a good break and a good read on that ball and makes that catch right in front of the warning track. That will bring us to Brett Lilik batting for himself, the left-handed hitting pitcher. Lilik, .303 average, 8 doubles, 3 triples, a home run, 21 runs batted in. He has scored 17. On the mound, the sophomore, Jake Bartels.
You know, you can't simulate the fact that Bartels pitched here last year as a freshman, the fact that he played varsity football, because there is no fear in that young man, even though he's only a sophomore, and he is just going ahead and pounding the zone consistently through 5 batters at this point.
You see big rosters for teams that come to the state finals in Class 3A and 4A. Obviously a bigger pool of players to work with as Lilik rifles this one to right field. But one of the things coaches do like to do at this stage, and it's true in other sports as well, is bring as many players as they can from their program to this spot or throughout the state tournament, because you just, as you said, can't simulate that experience until you're actually there and see the speed of the game and the emotions and the pressure.
Well, there's no doubt, and obviously if you have if you have positions, you can carry 20 in the state baseball tournament. If you have a couple of empty uniforms, one, you can fill out a roster. You might be able to use somebody to pinch run, to bunt, to bullpen catch, what have you. But two, they take that experience, they hand that down to their classmates if they're a freshman or sophomore, and they go back and say, wow, how exciting was that? So you want that to perpetuate the program when you bring kids up to have that game experience.
Eric Hurley, the courtesy runner at first base for Lilac. Eric Callahan, shortstop for the Spartans, will stand in with one out here in the second inning. So each team has had base runners in each of the first 2 innings here. Stromberg looking to get somebody down there at first base before this day is over. Callahan a .273 average with 8 extra base hits.
So you think Marian finishes 5-11 in the East Suburban Catholic? You think they had their reservations made for Joliet today? I don't think so.
Nope. And how do you think they were feeling trailing 5-0 in the first game of the tournament? You're thinking, okay, well, let's see, what are we going to do tomorrow? It'll still be May. Callahan hits this one to left center field. Left fielder knows it, has to go back. He's not going to get it. That ball is down. Hurley motoring around. He's being waved. He will score easily. Marian Catholic then 1-0 lead on the triple by Eric Callahan.
Callahan split the gap, and then it was off to the races. Hurley, the courtesy runner for Lilac, he just flew around the bases. You talked about that. And then Callahan, exclamation point, as he takes that one that spins a little bit and drives it into left center field. The ball's up for a long time, but a tough angle for Nosen, who chased it down. But then, exclamation point, then Callahan's going to just slide head first into third base with a triple. Play the game hard, respect the game, and generate some excitement for your team.
Brings up Mitch Weisenhofer, number 8 hitter in the lineup, the catcher for Marian Catholic. Callahan at third. Nazareth will play their infield back.
Great time for a squeeze if they have that in their arsenal. 8 hitter is a perfect hitter to bunt with. 1 out, perfect situation to bunt in.
Weisenhofer, a 6', 215-pound senior, only 21 official at bats. He has 9 hits, though, 4 of them for extra bases.
Now Bartels has a couple things in his repertoire from a weapon to combat a would-be squeeze. That's the very, very long hold or a step off if he thinks that might be coming.
That's a pretty good weapon right there, too.
He threw the hammer down on that one, didn't he? That one went straight down. Think of a face of a clock, 12 o'clock noon, which we're well past that. And that one went straight down to 6. 12-6 curveball. Changing planes, changing the hitter's eyes.
Callahan, the lead at third, should score on a ground ball. This one will drift out of play behind the third base dugout.
Bartel chooses to work at the far first base side of the pitching rubber. Usually enables a 2-seam fastball to get a little bit more movement, but allows the hitter to see the ball just a little bit better than if he were at the other side of the pitching rubber.
Weisenhofer will go down swinging, the second out, the second strikeout of the game for Bartels. Brings us to the number 9 hitter, Luis Carlo Avila.
Big strikeout for Bartels, to say the least. And the reason it was big is basically Nazareth was conceding the run. The infield was back. Weisenhofer's job was to put the ball in play, but Bartels had something else to say about that with his strikeout pitch.
Avila, 5'9", 135-pounder. He's at the plate, a sophomore, a 234 hitter.
Got a great baseball name, doesn't he?
Luis Carlo?
Luis Carlo Avila.
Outfield playing quite shallow for Avila. Bartels likes that off-speed pitch.
Avila only 3 extra base hits the entire season, so thus they read those same numbers we do and play their outfield in.
Now ball and 2 strikes. You notice all the Marian Catholic players, we'll talk more about it when we get a chance. Every one of them have those wristbands. You see it on Avila's left forearm. Not just a catcher, but every player has one. Fouled out of play.
We can talk about that, but I would share with the fans right now that that wristband is a coding system with numbers involved, and that's how they do their signs. Now, personally, I'm not a big proponent of that. I'm okay with a pitcher to catcher to bench, but on the offensive side, I think that adds for an awful lot of looking when there's not a sign alive. But to each coach his own, and they have a preference. The most positive thing about the wristband sign for offense is it is impossible to steal a sign.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a run in here. The RBI triple by Eric Callahan. Folks from LaGrange Park, the Nazareth fans, thought they may have had one there. And what a great day for that area, huh? LaGrange Park for Nazareth. Lyons Township out of LaGrange. They'll be playing later on today in your 4A semifinals.
A lot of good baseball being played there the last couple of years in that community.
Avila keeps on spoiling the pitches of Jake Bartels.
Yeah, very interesting because Bartels went the 2-2 pitch and went curveball on the outer edge. I'm thinking, you might want to attack this guy because you know what? You have Rob Cifelli up next. So Avila trying to extend the at-bat right now.
In his short left center field. Center fielder will make the call, and Mark Perone will make the catch. But Marian Catholic strikes first to pick up a run on 2 hits. The RBI triple by Eric Callahan. The difference in this one, through 2, Marian Catholic 1-0 over Nazareth. Just beyond the left field line, third base line, are train tracks that bring you into Joliet, whether it be by freight or commuter rail. To the berm, right here to Silver Cross Field. Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo with you. The winner of this game to play LaSalle Peru at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. LaSalle Peru 5-2 winners earlier today over Triad. Triad, of course, will be playing the third place game. That will be at 9 o'clock. And we'll start the top of the third for Nazareth Academy. Add in Anthony Tapia, Mark Perone, and Kyle Piotrowski. That's 8-9-1 in the Roadrunners order. 30 wins and 9 losses for Nazareth, who have just flat out been playing consistent ball all season long. We'll talk about other teams as this tournament progresses having their streaks, but Nazareth, they just have been plugging along. As we mentioned in the open, no starters returning from last year's 4th place team.
Tapia, diminutive, only 5'5" tall. Just a little shake and bake. But I tell you what, he plays the game hard, and he's a scrapper that just kind of is around plays. Very solid second baseman. Dependable hands, runs well, bunts well.
As you said, with his 130 pounds, the outfield not a lot of respect for any power against Lilick, who gets him for his 4th strikeout. Lilick, a strikeout machine. He can get it up there and get it going in a hurry. In fact, in the sectional championship game, a win over Lincoln Way West, season high 15 strikeouts in the 3-hitter. That brings us to Mark Perone, the center fielder for the Roadrunners.
And Perone, I think he likes hitting behind Tapia, not because of the 8-9 hole, but Perone's 5'7". Tapia's 5'5". He thinks I tower over my teammate at the 8 hole.
Lilick's coming with gas here. 89 now followed by an 88 fastball.
And then I look at Piotrowski, leadoff man's on deck, and he's 5'9". So they go 5'5", 5'7", 5'9" at bat this inning. So you don't need to be big to play this game, do you?
That pops the glove at 88.
And that certainly is one of the joys of baseball. There is a spot. If you can handle a bat, if you can throw some leather, if you can run, you don't need to be 6'2", 6'3". Although the scouts like the big 6'2" and 6'3" guys, but the small guy can be effective as well.
Take all the way there for Perone.
Saw a picture in the program as we turned it. Dennis Marian, the superintendent of Nazareth, climbed the ladder. He was a teacher, head football coach, became AD, and now superintendent of the entire building.
Mark Perone, hard hit ball to right field. Just barely beats it. Devin Pickett up, and he was looking to get the 9-3 put up, but instead Perone, the second hit of the day for Nazareth.
Well, Pickett just threw a seed from right field. You always talk about a 5-tool player. And for people that don't know what those tools are, that's hit with power, run, field, and throw. When you're going to Iowa, you have 5 tools, and he just showed one heck of a throwing arm, almost throwing out a pretty speedy Perone from right field at first base on a line drive base hit.
Piotrowski singled to center, the first batter of this game against Lilac, his first time up. Been a Nazareth team, not only did they have to replace their entire starting lineup, at one point or another this year they lost 5 different players to some type of an injury. Yet here they are, playing the final weekend of the Illinois high school sports season. There's Lee Milano, the head coach for Nazareth, 13th year, 301 victories, which means he got that 300th. That was in the sectional when he defeated St. Joe's by a 7-4 score. You know, and his assistant, one of his assistants, John Syme, what a tribute this is. Syme says, I've been around coaching for 48 years. He said, I've been around some great coaches, but he is the best coach he has ever been around in his 48 years.
That's a pretty nice compliment right there by a guy who's been around the game. And you talk about Naz's injuries, none bigger than Ryan Marsky, who's DHing today, but they expected him to give them a lift pitching. A cyst on his shoulder has kept him out for weeks upon weeks. After the cyst was basically healed, then they had elbow problems, so Marsky missed the entire year pitching, and he'll be playing baseball at Mav, Ohio. But you're right, they've overcome some injuries this year.
Sean Maloney at the plate, a strikeout victim. His first time up. Looks one right there in the inside corner. High in the infield. Avila. And that will close out the inning. Marian Catholic will bat in the bottom of the third, leading it 1-0. School's out for the summer, so why not come see some baseball? Better turn around, though. Action's happening behind you, guys.
Yeah, they're sitting on the edge of the dugout. I hope they turn around. Left-handed batter up right now.
There we go. Okay, well, sacrificing a T-shirt for the good of the team or the weather. Come on. Yeah. That's getting the job done right there.
The blue Marian flag is out. That probably flies more than the Cubs white flag with a W on it. Had to get that shot in, didn't I? The Marian flag has more W's in it than the Cubs white W flag.
Rob Cifelli to lead things off here in the third inning, followed by Pat Swanson and Devin Pickett, a 1-0 lead for the Spartans. Cifelli hits this one, gets a pretty good charge into it. Deep right field, and that ball's gone! Rob Cifelli's first home run of the season gives Marian a 2-0 lead.
Looking forward, got it, put a charge in it as he hit the beach. And that one was DLG. Definitely long gone for Cifelli, who just goes 5'6", 150, but kaboom. He just generated some incredible bat speed. And once the barrel got through the zone, the ball just jumped out of here.
2-0, Marian. That brings up Pat Swanson. Jake Bartels now has allowed 3 hits. A single, a triple, and a home run. The call striking the outside corner. You know, we always like talking about the games, what's happening on the field. So often there are situations that come up through the course of a season. We'll talk about several this weekend involving these teams as Swanson fouls this one away. But for Marian Catholic, they just had a wonderful situation happen. They have a young man named Ethan Skillington, usually comes up from St. Louis every spring break to spend some time with his grandparents, and he always gets involved with Marian Catholic baseball games. He always goes to Spartan games. Well, this year, Ethan, 13 years old, he was diagnosed with tumors on his spine, not able to make the trip. So Ethan's parents contacted Phil Whale and Marian Catholic about sending updates on the season. You know, send them down to the St. Louis area by email. But what the players did is they went a bit farther. We see Swanson strike out looking. The players went a bit farther. They took it upon themselves to all sign a ball, a team photo, and they sent it down to Ethan along with the Marian jersey.
What a neat thing, and what a neat service it is for young people to help other young people that are battling some different adversities and balls and strikes and errors and base hits. And that's just a full perspective thing, and that's part of the joy of being a teammate where you can join together for a cause.
Pickett, big cut, high, into the air. Sun a factor, but not for Maloney. So 2 quick outs following the home run by Cifelli.
Well, Cifelli, going back to that leadoff home run, I mean, it was first pitch fastball. He put a charge in it, and it was like, boom, that ball was gone. Almost before we got back from break. That's how quick that action happened. And we talked about Cifelli, how fast he is. We didn't know he could be that fast putting a run on the board, because that's the first time he's done that this year. He usually does it with his legs. Now he's going to think he's a power hitter.
Yeah, that's a little dangerous, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Brad Bolin, the cleanup hitter, grounded out to short his first time up. Hits this one to left center field. Knows it, and Perone, it'll be the center fielder, Perone. But the leadoff homer by Rob Cifelli to right field has put the Spartans up by 2. We've played 3 here in your Class 3A semifinal. It's 2-0, Marian Catholic. Roadrunners from Nazareth Academy find themselves down by 2 runs to the only draft pick playing in this tournament this weekend. That's Brett Lillick, 37th round pick of the Seattle Mariners, an Arizona State University signee, and they'll try to get things going here in the top of the 4th inning with 3, 4, 5 in their order. Mike Stromberg to lead things off.
Yeah, 37th round, they're going to have to put some green in front of him to keep him away from Arizona State. A lot of times they'll draft somebody low, thinking they can get him late because he's already signed, and then they can entice him with some money. But either way, Brett Lillick can't go wrong with his decision.
Yeah, he's in a great situation. His pitching coach, his dad, has been the only pitching coach that Brett Lillick has had. Last year, Brett played for the Texas Sun Devils in Houston and Georgia over the summer. Get a piece of the ball? Yes, he did. Ball and 2 strikes. Coming to you from Silver Cross Field. Wonderful facility for these high school teams to finish off their seasons in the state championships, Class 3A and 4. Of course, last week we were at O'Brien Field in Peoria as Stromberg is rung up. 6th strikeout of the day for Brett Lillick. 5 of those have come in the last 2 1/3 innings.
Just painted the outer edge. Tough matchup, lefty against lefty. Stromberg just overmatched by the arm angle of Lillick.
Tim Del Porto drew a walk his last time up, the cleanup hitter, the sophomore from Nazareth. We talk about this beautiful facility, Mark, and how these players are so happy to be playing on conditions like this. For Nazareth Academy, they've got themselves quite a field as well. And actually, they had quite the architect for that field.
They certainly did. Nazareth's field is 10 years old, and the architect was none other than Roger Bossard, who is famous for his groundwork ability with Chicago White Sox and U.S. Cellular Field. His son Brandon will be a freshman at Nazareth, but the story behind that field is one which makes that field that much more meaningful to the Nazareth Academy Roadrunners. Besides the beautiful field, and when it rains, they can still play. There's a story behind that field that we'll get to after this base on balls.
4-pitch walk to Del Porto.
What happened is the name of the field at Nazareth is called R.J. Sanders Field. R.J. Sanders, a 95 graduate of Nazareth, was killed in a construction accident tragically. So Walsh Construction in that area hired Roger Bossard to fix the field in R.J.'s name. So a graduate who died a much too soon tragic death. What a great thing by Walsh Construction. What a great thing for those Nazareth players to step on a beautiful field by probably the best groundskeeper in the game of baseball, and to have that ability. They used to play at a city park. Now it's right on their campus. And you know what? Coach Milano said, when it rains, that's not a problem to us whatsoever. It drains after about 2.5 inches of rain.
Oh, that's like having the best surgeon working on your arm, right? The best mechanic on your car. Roger Bossard for your field, man. Jake Bartels, one of the strikeout victims, his first time up, with one out here in the top of the 4th inning. Nazareth has had base runners in each inning, but they've gone no farther than first base against Lilich.
Well, Lilich picked a man off in the very first inning, and since then he's kind of shut down the running game. Now trailing 2, you have to be very careful, and you'd like to start as a coach, you'd like to do some hit and run, but he throws so many pitches that are swing and miss. He can make the barrel miss so often that a hit and run is not a high percentage play, because you get so many swing and misses, then you're risking the out stealing at second once again. So that's just how dangerous that pickoff move is and that velocity he carries.
Right on the outside corner, nothing that Bartels could do with it for the 7th strikeout of the game for Lilich. I'll bring up Ryan Marski. Hit a tapper to the first baseman, forced a runner at second. That was in the 2nd inning. Ball seemed like it took forever, 61 miles per hour worth to get there for Marski.
85 strikeouts current in 57 innings for Lilich. He can be dominating. And that just begs the question, where has he lost 4 games? I mean, 6-4 record, because you think he's almost untouchable, unless there's been some defensive breakdowns at times.
Swing by Marski just enough to stay alive. And we got to have a balk called. So the balk will send Del Porto down to second base. Well, you heard some folks in the Nazareth dugout asking for a balk a little bit earlier. And evidently the balk call comes. The call came from our first base umpire, Dan Marshall. Bob Jenkins is behind the plate. Bob Kopas over at third base.
And that balk on the previous delivery, the official ruling or the terminology is the pitcher must come to a discernible stop from the stretch or set position. And what happened is Lilich just kind of paused, didn't stop at his chest, and then delivered, which does not allow the runner to get a normal opportunity to steal a base if he would want. So good call, and just a reminder to Lilich that he has to, have a discernible or full stop on his stretch.
Marski can't handle it. Lilich strikes out the side. Through 4 innings. Nazareth has 2 hits. They have struck out 8 times, and they trail 2-0. Phil Whale, the head coach for Marian Catholic, so proud to be a graduate of the Chicago Heights School. He taught him so very much about so many different things in athletics and life. He went on to South Suburban College and then Dana College in Nebraska. When he was in college, he set the record at South Suburban and at Dana for complete games. This is his first winning season as the head coach for Marian Catholic.
Yeah, visiting with him last night, Coach Whale was quite clearly very excited, but definitely not in awe of the situation at all. And their team, as you mentioned, the regional semi, the sectional comeback, and they've been through an awful lot in 2 weeks, as all these teams. Can you imagine every team we've seen last weekend and this weekend? Nobody just cruises right through. It's not that easy. You have to come through a tough ball game, a tough season, something early in the season, some kind of adversity along the way, and that's the learning that takes place during an athletic season.
Pat Schmidt, the ground ball to the shortstop, Tim Del Porto, for the first out of this inning. And as you look at, for example, Marian Catholic, we've had teams throughout the tournaments here in the past 2 weeks that did not close their regular season in strong fashion. They maybe didn't even have a great regular season. But there's something about once you get to this point, that confidence in a span of just a little over 2 weeks builds to such a point that you carry yourself like a team that expected to be here the entire season, no matter how low those points got.
Well, and that's a great phrase you use. The way you carry yourself as an athlete, as a student, as an athlete, as a person. But when you carry yourself athletically with a little bit of a swagger, with a little bit of a chip, not with any kind of arrogance, but with confidence, that when you're carrying that you're able to overcome any kind of difficulty, and you can maybe get a hit when you shouldn't get a hit, make a pitch when you shouldn't make a pitch, or get a win when maybe you're not supposed to get a win.
Brett Lillick at the plate. He singled. His pinch runner Eric Hurley scored the first run of this game on Eric Callahan's triple. It's been the extra base hit that's been the difference today for Marian. The triple by Callahan to drive in a run, and then last inning the leadoff home run by Cifelli. Give Marian Catholic the 2-0 lead. Bartels working Lillick outside. It was Lillick that pulled one to the right side his last time up.
Yeah, Bartels got a ball into the left-hand inning Cifelli, and he just drained it into right field. So he's staying away from the left-handers.
Got it out a little bit, but Lillick able to drop it in front of Mark Perone in center field. Lillick now 2 for 2 at the plate in addition to striking out 8 and only giving up 2 hits through 4 innings. So here comes Eric Hurley once again to be the courtesy runner. So one group of players here in the stands at Silver Cross Field very intent on this game. Behind the first base dugout in the shade, LaSalle Peru. Cavaliers not going back to their hotel. They're staying here because they'll be playing the winner of this game for the 3A title tomorrow morning. Eric Callahan tripled to right center his last time up. Identical situation as this. 1 out. Hurley at first base after a hit by Lillick.
Started today at 10 a.m. We move everything up 1 hour tomorrow, correct? 9 a.m. for the third place game in 3A.
Triad will be there. A 30-win team on the season, 30-plus wins. Right center field, it won't be a triple, but it will work for Callahan. Hurley, third base easily. They throw to third, and that will allow Callahan to go to second. An ill-advised throw puts Callahan in scoring position.
Well, boy, that's the second time in 2 at-bats that we've been able to see Hurley run for Lillick and just put it into overdrive on a Callahan base hit. He saw that play in front of him. He is not just your courtesy runner.
Yes.
He's the real deal out of the field. He's a weapon as a courtesy runner. He knows what he's doing on the base paths. And Callahan then had the good read. A runner is taught to read the flight of the ball. Once he saw the ball going over the head of the cutoff man, the shortstop Del Porto, he went ahead and said, okay, I'll take second base. And right now, you're almost forced, if you're Nazareth, to pull your infield in, which creates a great hitting situation for Weisenhofer, who did not execute in his previous at-bat with a runner on third and less than 2 outs.
So head coach Lee Milano out there, that was a defensive conversation that he had with his club as to what he wants to do, and you can tell by the defensive alignment what they've decided.
Yeah, infield in, all over. They have no choice. You can't, chasing 2 against the likes of Lilick is tough, but chasing 3 or 4, they have to try to keep this run in by pulling the infield in. What it does risk, of course, is the bigger inning.
Weisenhofer struck out last time up. He'll look at the first one for a strike. .429 batting average for Weisenhofer. Again, came into this game with just 21 official at-bats. Luis Carlo Avila on deck. Could not pull the trigger, and it's 0-2.
Weisenhofer struck out previously in this situation and was 0-2 right away in that at-bat. Tough way to hit with runner in scoring position. 2 strikes.
He's the number 8 hitter in the order. Crucial at bat here this inning.
Flag picking up a little bit, pushing the ball to right field. A little bit more wind than we had earlier in the day.
Temperature now in the mid-80s. And a big strikeout by Bartels. His 4th comes when he needed it the most, because now the infield can back up. And you'll get a chance at Avila, who flew out to center back in the 2nd inning.
Game situation here, 2-0, very manageable. 4-0 against Lilick, pretty tough catch-up baseball. In the hand/bat of Avila now.
Nazareth Academy fans thought they had a potential strike call there. Was not to be.
Outfield moved in easily, a good 20-25 feet for Avila.
2-0. Bartels does not want to get back to the top of the order and face Cifelli.
Bartels got underneath that curveball. When you throw a curveball, you want your fingers on top of the ball. He got his hand below the baseball. The ball just spun, had no break to it, and stayed outside.
Avila to center field again. And Bartels will pitch out of it. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Strikeout, fly out. Bartels holds Marian Catholic right there. But after 4, it's still the Spartans, the 2-run lead. 2-0, Nazareth Academy coming to bat in the 5th. A run in the 2nd, a run in the 3rd. That's what Marian Catholic has on the mound. They also have Brett Lelick. He's given up 2 hits. He has struck out 8 and has walked just 2. And it will be Dominic Papura, Anthony Tapia, and Mark Perone, the bottom 3, the Nazareth order that will try to get something going for the Roadrunners. Papura, the drag bunt. Lilick quick off the mound. Strike to first base.
Great idea by Papura, and well-executed athleticism right there by the pitcher, Lilick, who was able to square up after his pitch, read the ball, make a solid play, bring it into his glove, and then get a good angle to throw a strike to Schmidt. Well-executed bunt, well-executed defensively, 1 down.
Anthony Tapia struck out looking his first time up.
Nazareth Academy, they do not overuse the word student athlete. Coach Milano's very happy. The average ACT, the composite average ACT score of his team this year was 27.5. 27.5. Those are big time numbers. Anthony Tapia hitting right now had a 29 ACT, Ryan Marsky a 28, and Mike Stromberg a 31. All three of those big numbers.
Fouled off the railing in the upper level. Back into the stands. Yeah, forget about your 450 batting averages.
Yeah.
The 1-2 pitch. Weissenhofer tried to bend it around there with his catcher's mitt. You know, and that sort of academic prowess plays onto the field as well. Makes explanations, game situations a little bit more quickly taught.
Well, there's no doubt if you are alert and there's brain triggering in the classroom, you'll have more carryover into the athletic field as well. There's no doubt about that. And when you have that as a coach, you can probably take an individual or a team even deeper into the X's and O's and schemes and such, no matter what sport you're in, than if you had a team that maybe struggled a little bit more from an intelligence standpoint.
Tapia looks at that pitch and takes the count full.
What I like about Lilich right now, he's not just a hard thrower, he is a pitcher.
Well, that's one thing that changed, and he admits it from last year to this year. He just said last year, I just try to blow the ball past people. And now somebody like Tapia last year, he would have just pounded the fastball at him all game long. But now, as you said, he's working him.
Yeah, he's thrown a couple breaking balls. He threw a fastball in, a fastball up, a fastball away.
That is low. Tapia works him for a walk. Gets a standing ovation from some of the folks on the Nazareth Academy side.
That was a quality at bat because that little shake and bake batted with a big heart right there. He fouled off 2 or 3 tough pitches against a guy throwing about 89, 90. And what a quality at bat to reach base it was.
Now you have Mark Perone at the plate. He singled to right field his last time up. Shows bunt, pulls back, swings away. Left fielder Pat Swanson wants it and will make the catch. It's left center.
I really like to play the fake bunt and slash, but quite clearly, if you're going to show that early, you're going to try to move a defense, you better really be cognizant of getting on top of the baseball, hitting on the ground. Because even if you do hit the ball in the air like just happened, you're not going to get a full charge into the baseball. You won't be able to drive it. So you're going to try to move the defense, you better get the ball down and past the defense.
Go to the top of the order, and Kyle Piotrowski struck out swinging his last time up. Also singled. That was back in the first. That was a leadoff hitter in this game. Then eventually he was picked off. This should get out of play behind the dugout. Some people looking to catch it, some putting their heads down, some flinching. Ball falls harmlessly about 6 rows deep.
Never figured out why people in the ball game put their hand over their head. I mean, if you're going to get, why don't you try to get out of the way instead of just get hit there?
High chop to Bolin, long throw across. Dirt with the ball, Schmidt has it, and that closes out the inning. The shutout continues for Brett Lilich, the 2-hitter, alive through 5. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Marian Catholic looks to add on to their 2-0 lead. Marian Catholic, the 2-run lead. The leadoff hitter at the plate here in the 5th inning in the form of Rob Cifelli. Lined out to short his first time out. The last time, took one out to right field. Big home run for Cifelli, his first of the year. Makes it 2-0 Marian.
He can also handle a bat, so Piotrowski up on the grass because he could drag bunt. Cifelli gets on base. You could almost count on him being on second base.
Well, when Cifelli gets on, he flat out runs 52 stolen bases entering the super sectional.
Wow.
He goes for the big cut again. He does have the first baseman, Dominic Papura, playing very deep at first if he wanted to go that way with it. But there's now 2 strikes, so have to save that possibly for another at-bat.
Cifelli going to John Carroll, and he's a 32 ACT in his own right. So this young man gets it done academically.
High chopper, got a chance here. There'll be a base hit for Rob Cifelli, and now let the action begin on the bases.
Well, it already did. In all honesty, that chopper, because he basically was trying to outrun that baseball. Anthony Tapia knows what we do, and you got Cifelli just flying down first base from left-handed batter's box, and he made easy chopping ground ball, a difficult play for Tapia, very correctly scored a base hit by Rich Piacek, because there's no way he was going to throw him out unless he came up 100% clean.
Cifelli will stay on a first pitch. Stromberg, snap throw back. Cifelli, we said 52 stolen bases. That's a school record. He broke his own record of 28 from last year. 87 career stolen bases. That was entering the sectional. He's got a big lead over there, and Bartels will drive him back. Cifelli admits he's not the fastest guy around, but he will study pitchers and catchers.
Now it's up to Bartels to give Mike Stromberg a chance.
Oh, they got him!
Wow. Good feet. It certainly appeared Cifelli had an awful lot of his body back at the base when the tag was made toward the waist area. Great feet by Bartels. See him leaning just a little bit. And there was an awful lot of arm in. The tag was made at the waist.
We've had a pickoff each way, both by the leadoff men. Piotrowski for Nazareth Academy in the first inning picked off by the lefty, and now Cifelli, leadoff batter for Marian Catholic, picked off here to start the fifth. Swanson today, a walk and a strikeout. It's a big man off the bases. And the walk follows the pickoff. It's only the second walk of the day for Bartels, both of them coming to Swanson.
Anyone interested in the ability to learn how to score a baseball game, Cifelli's out at first will go in the scoring regime as a pickoff because he was trying to get back to first base. If you're trying to go to second base, even on a pickoff attempt, it's actually called an out stealing. So a little differentiation there as far as scoring rules are concerned.
Devin Pickett at the plate. Nice stop by Stromberg behind the plate. Pickett, the Iowa recruit, a strikeout and a flyout today. Checks it up. It's 2-0. Marian Catholic, 23 wins, 17 losses. Nazareth Academy, 30 wins and 9 losses. Both members of the East Suburban Catholic Conference. They split a pair of games on back-to-back nights this year. Bartels will throw this one away, and a chance for Swanson to turn the corner at second. Here he comes. Long throw from Papura, and he is out of there.
Papura threw the ball about 190, 200 feet from down the right field line to third base. Swanson was initially safe, but then completely being out of control, running as hard as he could in stride. He tries to elude the tag, and he overruns or overslides the base, and staying right with it was Piotrowski. Very smart play, staying with the tag.
Boy, great camera work on that play to catch every little nuance of that.
And yeah, that was an exciting play. An awful lot happened. A pickoff, an errant pickoff throw, the ball down the right field line, safe at third, out at third, all within about 5 innings of action.
So the first 2 men in this inning for Marian Catholic have reached base, and they've both been wiped out. It's 3-1 now to Pickett. Now the side's heating up a little bit as Pickett thought he had himself ball 4. Instead, to count 3-2. You know, you get the feeling here that if Nazareth Academy gets out of this, this bottom half of the fifth generates momentum for the offense in the top of the next inning. Pickett hits this one well. Carrying and over the head of the right fielder Maloney. Pickett on the move. Devin Pickett. A 2-out triple. The second triple of the day, the third extra base hit of the day for Marian.
Well, we've seen some action this inning on the base paths. Cifelli picked off after getting a base hit. Swanson out at third after a pickoff play. And now we get a chance to see Devin Pickett take the ball to right field. It appears to be a breaking ball that split the middle of the plate, and he just charged it into right center field. Laying out was Maloney, but Perrone doing a good job backing things up. And as Maloney laid out, he appears in right field to have some issues as the training staff is out in right field. Checking on Maloney right now as he made a great effort for that ball, but the young man is in a great deal of discomfort holding his right shoulder. That's all we can report, what you see on your screen right now.
Well, he was sprawled down. He got up and was walking back to right field, obviously, as you said, under discomfort. And then once time was called, then it all kind of came down on him. Let's take a look back again as they look at the right shoulder of Maloney. We'll keep an eye on it here in this replay.
You see his angle to the ball. He decides he can't get behind it, so he lays out for it, just making a great effort, and he appeared to come down right on the shoulder.
Well, I thought he was going to come down flat, and then at the last instant, somewhat rolled that shoulder underneath as Pickett got himself all the way around to third base.
And it was fun to watch Pickett run the bases. You can tell he's done that as he never broke stride. Hit the inside corner of first and second with a straight line to third like a good base runner should.
It's Pickett's first triple of the season to go along with 7 doubles and a home run. Sean Maloney will obviously come out of this game. That's never a position you like to see somebody being assisted with as they walk off a field.
Now they're trying to immobilize that arm right now from any kind of movement. Chaz Usher, 23, is in right field in the stead of Maloney.
Maloney gets a good hand as he comes off the field. Usher, a 5'9" junior. And he is scheduled to be the leadoff hitter next inning. Bartels will get a couple of extra tosses here after the delay.
Marian's first baseball appearance. How many times in football? A few, huh?
Yep.
Had some great football success. Maybe the most famous football alum, Rodney Harrison, played for the Patriots, current NFL analyst, and Dan Kelly played at Purdue, just got drafted by the Eagles, so a couple NFL footballers that played for Marian Catholic.
Brad Bolin looking to see if he can salvage something for this strange inning for Marian Catholic, who've had 2 hits and a walk, yet there's 2 outs and a runner at third. No runs in. Bolin today 0 for 2. His 29 runs batted in lead this team. Marian Catholic, not a team of gaudy offensive numbers. 29, relatively low number for a team leader. On a 1-hopper down to Piotrowski at third. Dug out of there at first by Papura. And despite a single, a triple, and a walk, no damage done to Nazareth Academy. So they will head to the top of the 5th, 6th inning. They trail it 2-0. That is one long poke to get it out there. A fire station beyond the left field wall here at Silver Cross Field.
Yeah, I could do that, but I would need a 4-iron. That's about how I would hit my 4-iron, about 200. I don't think I could do it with these new BB Corvettes. Not a chance.
So Chaz Usher will have to lead it off here against Lilick, and the reason he's there is Sean Maloney, of course, injured on the play on the triple by Pickett. Usher up against it, fights it off. Usher just 1 for 10 now, make it 1 for 11. That's out number 1 here in the 6th.
Well, I played golf earlier in the week, but I had about as much success as Naz has had against Lilick so far today. Not very much. He's just been dominating, hasn't he?
He's only given up 2 hits, one of them an infield single, the other one a clean single up the middle. That was to the leadoff batter in this ball game. He has struck out 8, walked 3.
Is my scorebook right? Only 1 ball to the outfield? Perone has an F7. Everything else has been either a strikeout or stayed in the infield, huh?
You are correct.
That is dominating pitching right there. You're talking about 1 out in the 6th inning, and only 1 out has been recorded out of the infield.
Well, Lilick came in here as regarded by many to be the best left-handed pitcher in the state. And he is flashing it here today as Stromberg eyeballs that one right into the glove of Weisenhofer. 3 balls, no strikes. Number 3 hitter in the lineup. Nazareth 4th place finish last year. They'd like to avoid playing that 3rd place game here, and Stromberg will head down to first base on the walk, the 4th of the day for Lilick. And we will quickly get a courtesy runner for him. Carl Jackson will come out to do the running. And that brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Tim Del Porto.
And you really feel that if Naz is going to make a push, they're going to have to take advantage of that walk right there. Del Porto, obviously and arguably their top hitter, their guy that can do some damage. Probably athletically, their guy that can catch up with Lilick. So he right now becomes a big at bat in this game.
He was taking that first pitch all the way. Del Porto, 11 doubles, a home run, 359 batting average. He's driven in 25. He'll be followed by Bartels and Marski if they get to him.
Interesting defensive alignment for Marian Catholic. Pickett guarding the right field line. Basically, that's in respect to the fastball velocity of Lilick. Cefelli way over right center, so a gap between Cefelli and Swanson, middle infielder, up the middle, hoping for a double play infield depth.
Nazareth Academy fans asked for it. So did the coaches, and they got it. Second balk of the game by Brett Lilick.
Now, the earlier balk was that he did not set. This balk was called because they said that his right foot, his lead foot, went backward and then came toward home. So the interesting thing is usually when you get away with one of the first inning when you got the pickoff, you're usually good for the rest of the day, but not in this case. That takes away the force out and double play opportunity.
Big run at second base for the Roadrunners. Porto looked at a pretty good pitch right there. It's 1-2. What do they say? You have to get 1 run before you can get 2. Trailing by 2, Del Porto takes another one outside. Softly to the shortstop, Callahan.
Just jammed him, poured that ball right on his hands. No chance for Del Porto to get any extension and generate any bat speed through the zone. Quality pitch by a quality pitcher.
Jake Bartels, a .355 hitter, has had no luck today against Lilick. He has struck out in his 2 plate appearances. Hits this one hard to Callahan at short. Nifty little backhanded throw, and that's a quick inning right there. The walk and a balk put a runner at second, but then pop-out, ground-out, inning over. The shutout continues. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Marian Catholic maintains a 2-0 lead. That is the look of a relaxed dugout, a 2-run lead. Your ace is cruising on the mound. You get to bat in the bottom of the 6th with a chance to add to it as Marian Catholic looks in their first state finals appearance ever to get a chance to play in a state championship game of Class 3A. Pat Schmidt, Brett Lillick, and Eric Callahan will bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Bartell's on the mound. He's given up 7 hits today. He has scattered those 7 hits about. Left a couple of runners on base in the 4th inning. Picked off a man, then had a runner thrown out at 3rd last inning.
We mentioned Bartels pitched in the 3rd, 4th place game last year. Coach Milano said he put on about 4 to 5 miles an hour on his fastball. Now,
that one's going to find inside the line for Pat Schmidt. Tracked down the corner by Usher. Schmidt hesitated around second base. Now here he comes. And with that, Marian Catholic has their 3rd triple of the day.
Yeah, the hesitation almost cost him, but he just laced that ball down the right field line. And we were talking about Bartels putting on about 4 to 5 miles on his fastball. That was a breaking ball down and away. Schmidt went ahead, went down, got it, and drove it. And then the rest was speed. But Bartels being only 16 years old, you know what? He put 3 or 4 miles on again next year, 3 or 4 miles on again next year. He might be tipping 88, 89 at 6'3", 6'4". He's really going to be a power pitcher before all's said and done. He needs to be a power pitcher right now. Nothing but a strikeout will suffice, that or a pop-up.
Lillick at the plate, 2 for 2 today with a couple of singles. This ball is hit hard to center field. Perone there makes the catch. Schmidt tags. Here's the throw. And it's a 3-0 Marian lead. A sacrifice line drive by Brett Lillick. Triple sacks fly. A quick run here in the 6th.
Well, we mentioned it earlier in the ball game. We'll mention it again now. Marian Catholic, 6 losses in their last 9 games. 1 game over 500 coming into the tournament. 3 Lillick outs away from being in the state championship. Improbable? Yes.
At the beginning of the year, you might not have thought so because this was a team that finished 3rd in the state summer tournament. And a lot of times, that is a great indicator of what's going to happen in the spring.
Yeah, that certainly is. It certainly shows you have abilities. And, you know, a lot of times in the summer, you don't have the great record either, but when you put your whole team together for the tournament run, that's when you usually see the best teams cream rise to the top. Although we know, again, that's single elimination baseball.
Eric Callahan at the plate. He's also 2 for 2, including a triple. So 4 of the 8 hits for Marian today have come from their 6th and 7th spots in the order.
And let me clarify myself, it's single elimination baseball until you get to the final 8. And then it's pool play baseball. So a little bit margin for error.
Piotrowski comes hard. 2 gone to Mitch Weisenhofer. So we'll get a pinch hitter for Weisenhofer. Coming to the plate to bat will be Brett Feldner. Feldner, a .297 hitter. Weisenhofer struck out twice today.
Weisenhofer, offensively, not much of a factor. Defensively, done a great job working with Lillick.
You're a Nazareth Academy baseball fan and you are looking to that 7th inning knowing you're going to need at least 3 runs. You'll start it with Ryan Marski, followed by Dominic Perpera, and then Anthony Tapia. That would be 5, 6, 7 in your order. Bartels falls behind Feldner here, 2-0.
We have seen solid pitching in this game.
Lee Milano will make the quick jog out, talk to his sophomore pitcher, make sure things get squared away. No need to get any more damage done here.
Interesting mound visit right there. 2 outs, nobody on. He goes 2-0. And he saw something that he just wanted to comment on very quickly, whether it was an encouraging word, what have you. I think he said, all right, we're in the 8-hole. Go ahead, attack the zone right now. Throw 3 fastballs down the middle and see what happens. Make him put the ball in play.
Saw for a moment troops marching in. Our next game features Grant and Oak Park River Forest. That will be the start of your 4A state finals. Little jam shot, nicely done there by Papura. But a huge run scores, a triple by Pat Schmidt, followed by a sacrifice lineout by Brett Lillick. It will be a 3-run lead for the Spartans and Brett Lillick to protect as we head to the 7th. Silvercross Field in Joliet. Top of the 7th inning of the second Class 3A semifinal of the day. LaSalle, Peru, 5-2 winners earlier today over Triad. They will be playing in a state title ball game. Marian Catholic 3 outs away from joining them. Leading it off will be Ryan Marski, the designated hitter. Lillick with 85 pitches, 55 of them for strikes.
85 pitches, that is the epitome of consistency. That you get through 6 with 85 pitches, now 87. 55 strikes, and you can almost bet that Marski's taking this pitch here, taking a strike.
And that one came in at 86 miles per hour, so Lillick, who has been as high as 89 today, have been hanging right in that 86 to 89 range here through 7 innings. You can hear that glove of Weisenhofer pop on that 88 mile per hour fastball.
Leather to leather. You can hear it all the way up here when you got that kind of giddy up.
Marski stays alive.
You know, it's amazing, though, through 4 innings, 8 strikeouts, right? And not a strikeout the last 2 innings.
That's
very
right.
Interesting.
Marski 1 foul to the third base side, now 1 foul to the first base side.
So important for the left-handed hitting Marski. Not that he's going to hit it there, but to have an approach that I got to keep my right shoulder, my front shoulder in, stay over the ball, and think I'm going to hit the ball over the shortstop's head.
He was thinking about trying to get nicked with the pitch inside, and it did stay inside. It started bending a little bit.
A little bit of spinner right there. Not much bite on that ball. And Lillick did not get through that pitch.
Marski a piece of it, enough to send it back behind home plate.
Coaches talk about finishing a pitch. When you're watching a ball game, if you see a pitcher get his chest when it finishes over his front leg, that's the proper mechanics. That's the follow through you want.
Boy, Marski, a tough out here.
See if we can watch Lillick on this follow through, chest over the lead leg when he finishes this pitch.
The 9th strikeout of the game, the first out of the 7th inning for Marian and Brett Lillick.
You know, that was a great at-bat by Marski, an outstanding at-bat. Yet he's in the dugout with strikeout number 9. That's how good this young man has been today. Dominating performance, 60 foot, 6 inches away from home plate.
Timothy Getty will bat for Dominic Papura as Lee Milano will get away from the lefty-lefty matchup that he's been faced with Lillick and Papura. Getty a .333 hitter this season. He gets up there and rips at the first one. And the second. That at 87. Nothing but gas here to Getty.
Seems to have found just a little bit more of impetus these last 3 or 4 pitches.
Missed by just enough. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is not the pitch that Brett Lillick wanted to throw. And a free base for Tim Getty on a hit batter.
And we've talked about this throughout all the ball games we've done the last couple of weeks. Great job by Getty. Hey, you might say, Coach Lino, what do you mean great job? He got me on pitch. He stayed right in there. That is the total take one for the team right there. That's exactly what he did. He could have tried to get out of the way of that. He could have got out of the way of that. He decided not to. That was his best way to be a base runner. He is on first base, but now Donovan Capura has re-entered and will run for himself and be back in the ball game.
And Ed Jengo will bat for Anthony Tapia here with 1 out in the 7th. There's no taking till we get a strike. They're up there swinging. Jengo, 5 hits and 20 at-bats this season. You look at the lead of Papura at first base, about half a step lead. Let's see how much he gets this time. Taking no chances here. He'll walk off a couple steps. And that is about as close as it gets right there. Jengo comes out of the dugout swinging. Strikeout number 10. 1 out to a state championship game. Mark Perrone, the hope for Nazareth Academy to keep it going. Marian Catholic fans come to their feet. They have been riding this tournament train. 18-17, the start of the tournament. Marian Catholic down 5-0 in their first game of the regional before coming back to win in 8 innings. And now 1 strike away.
The tournament train, the motor is revved up, no doubt about that. There's some diesel in the engine.
Their first regional championship in 25 years. Only 5 winning seasons since 1994. They were 8-15 in their last 23 regular season games. This is their first appearance in the state baseball finals, and they're going to play for a state championship. Brett Lillick strikes out the side in the 7th inning. He finishes with 11, only allows 2 hits. Single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th innings, more than enough. And it will be LaSalle Peru and Marian Catholic for your 3A title tomorrow.
Lillick did some good things with a bat. That's okay. On the hill, he was nothing but A.W.-isome. An awesome performance by Lillick, who was everything that he was advertised to be. Total command of his repertoire of pitches, total command of this baseball victory.
So Marian Catholic, 24 wins, 17 losses. We'll take on LaSalle Peru, the Cavaliers at 34-6. That will be 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. Game number 1 will match Triad and Nazareth. And, of course, all those ball games right here for you on IHSA.tv. That's 3A baseball. Coming up next, though, it's all about 4A play. The Lions go back-to-back the first time since 1959. Teams win back-to-back championships. Well, they have to get through Grant, Oak Park River Forest. They'll meet in our next ball game. Lions will face Manuka in Game 2 of 4A. But as far as this one goes, it belongs to Marian Catholic. The Spartans playing for the state title. Your final score, Marian Catholic 3, Nazareth Academy nothing. For our entire crew here at IHSA.TV and for my partner, Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Stick around for a baseball coming up next.